What up, big time gang? So, oops, I did it again. Another win. Super thankful. I've been playing a lot more. I've been playing at least, maybe 2 raffles a week minimum. I've been, participating, buying a ticket or two. Normally I don't buy more than 2 tickets at a time. But anyways, I won again. So I won on Georgia Mountain Watch Raffle again. And this box beneath it is what I won. By the thumbnail and the title, I'm sure you know what this watch is. But I'm going to make you wait till after the intro to see it. So enjoy the intro and then we'll see you. All right. So the raffle was from David CANO, even though it was Georgia Mountain Watch Raffle. David's the one that was actually raffling this watch off. And it came with a 6 slot, like the 12 slots I have in my foreground when I'm doing a video, or my background. So without further ado, and this came greatly packaged in a nice box with foam around it. David hooked it up. He didn't make it to where this was going to get damaged at all. So this is the 6 slot case. Came with my win. So it was part of the deal. So it was the watch and this case, which is super awesome. But the star of the show is the watch. So this is my 4th win on the raffle groups, but this is my first ever in multiple things. So my first ever hematite watch. So dial and bezel are hematite, which is like a charcoal gray stone. Beautiful, beautiful watch. But not only is it hematite, it's my first time owning a Valjoux 7750. So this is the automatic chronograph, 25 jewel Valjoux or ETA 7750. Now, of course, everybody wants to say Valjoux, Valjoux, however you say it, but they want to use that name because that's a name that, most watch companies are putting with the movement. Even though ETA now owns it, or ETA owns the 7750 now and produces it. I'm going to call this a Valjoux or Valjoux. Let's say Valjoux. That's what I'm going to call this because it just makes it better to me. So if you don't know about this movement, you got to Google it. Great history. This movement is responsible for bringing back the whole automatic chronograph in the 70s. So quartz was all the rage, and this movement was responsible for bringing the automatic movement back. So it's got some major heritage. It's a great, reliable movement. Anybody you ask about this movement that knows watches will tell you this movement is one of the best ever. So I finally own one now. So I'm very thankful to the raffle. I'm very thankful just to own it. And it's my first butterfly clasp. So I've owned over 200 Invictas in my time so far. I probably own over 100 now. And I've never owned a watch that had the butterfly clasp. So I've always wanted one, but just either it was out of my price range or it wasn't my style. I never pulled the trigger. So that's 3 first. Hematite, the Valjoux 7750, butterfly clasp, and then we got blue sapphires all around the crown there. And I've never had a watch that had any kind of jewels on the crown as well. So that's the 4th first. So just amazing watch. I'm going to flip you around and talk more about it. But I just really grateful to win. This one is a limited edition, number 17 out of 999, and I believe that's the lowest limited edition number I own. So another, another addition to the pluses on this watch. Now, one thing that you know about me is I love big watches. And my group's name is Big Ass Watches, but this is a 47 millimeter, which is not small by no means, but isn't the normal, size of watch I wear. Now, what I've been wearing lately is 50 to 52. So this isn't far off. We'll get this on the wrist. I have to size it, but we will get this on the wrist and check fitment and all that good stuff. But just admire that beautiful charcoal dial and then the hematite around the bezel, the hematite dial. I love the day date feature on the automatic. I own 2 SW500s, and they're just, I don't know, it just adds that luxury to the dial to me. You'll see a lot of watches that say SW500 or like this one here, the Valjoux 7750, and they only have a date window. That's because some watchmakers or some watches, they want to clean up the dial and they don't want the 2 cutouts. But if it's a SW500 or a 7750, it has the ability to have the day and the date. Just not all dials will have both. So there's a little fun fact there. So if you look at a watch and it says it's a Valjoux 7750 and you only see a date window, it's because they chose to not make a cutout for the day of the week. They wanted to clean up the dial. So that's the reasoning behind that. Anyways, stay tuned. I think we're going to size this thing today. And it's looking like there's screws. So this is going to be a first for me. So if you want to see that, I'll put that at the end of the video. If you're shopping for a watch, make sure to check out Georgia Mountain Watches. Link will be in the description. All right, so I thought I'd flip it around, kind of show you guys my face, because I know a lot of viewers want to see Tommy Big Time, which I don't know why. I'm an ugly mofo, but whatever. Here's the watch. Here's the case that it came with, so you can actually see it a little better. This is all yellow 6-slot display case by Invicta. The lid is non-hinged, so it just comes right off. But I like these cases. They fit the 50, 52 millimeter very well. So the reason I flipped you guys around and was actually showing my face is because I wanted to talk about this movement a little bit more and setting the date on this movement. So shout out to my homie Kevin. He's been a subscriber for a while now and became a buddy. We talk a lot through Messenger. He's newer to collecting Invicta and calls me his mentor, which is cool. I don't know everything. I don't know much at all when it comes to watches and Invicta. But what I do know, I'm willing to share. So one of the biggest things with the SW500 and the 7750 is setting the date, because you do not want to set the date between the 9 p.m. hour and the 3 a.m. hour. So that is very important when it comes to these, because there's a little pin that if you set after 9 p.m. or 3 a.m., you have the risk of breaking that little pin, which switches the date, and now the date is dead. You can no longer switch the date at all. So Kevin just got his first SW500. So right when he purchased that watch, I warned him, do not set it till you read up on it. I'm going to tell you what I know, but be careful, because I've had buddies like Michael Carson and Mike Farrell that have done the same thing for me, and he gave me that heads up when I first got my SW500. Like, hey, be careful. Make sure you know what you're doing when you set that watch, because you can really mess it up. And if you're watching this video and you don't know about that, look into it. Google it. How to set a Sellita SW500, or how to set the date on a Valjoux 7750, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. So I've heard a million different times. I know it's avoid close to the midnight hour is the point. So I've heard a million different people say what time they set it at. Only set it between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Or, you know, I've heard a million different ones. Most of the watch geeks, us watch, you know, aficionados, whatever you want to call it, the rule of thumb normally is do not set between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Very, very important. If you're a novice collector and you just got your first, you know, nice movement, make sure you read on it before you actually play with it, because the worst thing that can happen is you break it. But nobody wants a broken movement, and especially a Valjoux 7750. I don't want to break the date on this movement and it doesn't work. So I haven't even tested to see if it does work. I'm sure it does, but I will do that when I flip the camera back around. But I'm just excited to have it. So, like I was mentioning earlier, the Valjoux 7750 was the comeback kid for chronograph automatics. So during that time, even James Bond was wearing quartz Seiko and had drifted off from his Rolex. It was a hard time for the heavier, bigger watches that had the automatic movements. A lot of issues, a lot more, you know, money invested into having them recalibrated, oiled, you know, service, all that good stuff. And then Valjoux came out with this movement here and changed the game. So this means a lot to me because I haven't been able to buy one. It's just been out of my price range most of the time. And now I want it. And believe me, this one's not going nowhere anytime soon. Very, very happy to have this piece. And it's just, you know, that little back history on the movement itself makes it even cooler. And then, like I said, it's my first time ever owning a hematite piece. It's my first time owning one with little blue sapphires in the crown. I'm not sure if you can see those, but there's little blue sapphires all the way around the crown. First time having the butterfly class deployment like that. And the first time having the Valjoux 7750. So majorly happy to have this, to have won this. Super, super dope. But anyway, I'm going to switch you back over to the other side of the table, and we're going to attempt to size this. I've never attempted one like this, and I will zoom in and kind of show you what I'm talking about, why this is different. Okay, stay tuned. All right, so this is what I was talking about here. You see those there? They're not pins, they are screws. So both sides of the watch have the standard screw slot. And I don't think I've ever sized one like this before. I've done a Sea Spider, and that's very similar to this, but I don't think I've ever done a steel bracelet with the screws. So this will be a first for me. I feel like that dial is dirty. Doesn't it look dirty? So let's see if this even works, because I don't like the way that dial looks. With my naked eye, it looks fine, but looking at it through the camera, I see a lot of junk in that dial. Either on that crystal or on the dial itself while we're ticking. So that's a good sign. Okay, let's set it to 7. Oops. Now I'm going to do 7, regardless if it's AM or PM. Doesn't matter. It's a safe spot. And we're going to go in. And we're going to adjust the date to the And the date does move as you see it. Now we're going to go to the 12th, because today is Thursday the 13th. So when I set the watch to the correct time, we will now be at Thursday the 13th. Okay, so that must have been the AM setting. Now we're going around. Now we should hit the PM setting and the day of the week. And the date should change over to Thursday the 13th. There goes the day of the week, Thursday. There's a date. Now we are at 1 p.m. So we're going to go all the way around. We are going to stop there. All the way in, screw it down, and we are good to go. So the good thing is it's running. So that's a plus. I might just send this out to Rick to clean up that dial for me, because I don't want to even dare open up this movement. But tell me if you guys see that too. I don't think that's supposed to be there. It looks like a lot of garbage inside that crystal. But anyways, let's size this thing. So you see the screws? I'm going to try it on real quick, and then we'll figure out what we got to do. I'm going to adjust the camera so you guys are up, kind of overhead shot. Take off the watch I'm wearing so I can try this other one on. What I'm wearing today is the Aragon Millipede Automatic. This one was thank you to Greg Ward. Appreciate it, brother. Automatic. I'm wearing black and gold today, and this watch is black and gold in your face, and I love it. So let's put this bad boy on. Close up the butterfly clasp. And let's see. I'm thinking, God, that's not much at all. Maybe one link. Let's try one from the 6 o'clock, and then we'll try it back on and we'll see what we get. Because right now, with the watch centered on my wrist, we're off. There's more links on the 6 o'clock side. So you see how the butterfly is way over here. I want to move it over to where it's more centered in my wrist. So we'll take one out of the 6 o'clock. So let's do that. So I'm not even going to put this in a bracelet holder. I am just going to use 2 small standard screwdrivers and grab a screw head from each side and turn. Okay, so I've definitely got the screw coming out. I just pushed it back in on accident. Okay. Okay, so that's that little screw there. That's one pin out. Now we're going to take out one more so that I can remove a whole link. So we're going to go for this one right below it. Now this is going to be a long video, and I'm sorry for that, but I really wanted to talk about this watch because I was very, very excited when I won. I was like a little kid bragging to people that don't even care about watches. Hey, I won a 7750. So, yeah. This video I knew was probably going to be long because I was going to talk too much about it. And then I didn't even realize that this bracelet was going to be one that had screws in it. So, if you're here to the end, drop big time gang, Hematite gang. So I know you guys are here. And now I gotta get these out, which I'm gonna use my punch. There's one out. There's two out. One link removed. Now let's put it back together. And I'm just gonna slide the pin in. I'm not going to screw it down. I just want to see that the watch fits me or not. Why does that feel so weird? Okay. Okay, screw is in enough so I can try it on. I'm going to be gentle so I don't damage anything, and that, you know, I don't want to bind it up or anything and squish it. Yep, that's it. That's the ticket. One is all she needed. So now we're going to put that screw back in and we will be done. So, ooh, pin almost fell out. So this is going to be tricky. I really want to attempt to hand thread it if possible. Beautiful. Okay, so it's hand threaded. Now I can actually screw it in with the screwdriver. Okay, it's snug. Now I'm gonna put the pin back in the other link before I lose it, because that's the last thing I want to do is lose any parts, especially on a beautiful watch like this. I mean, all my watches are important to me, but this one is definitely a grail. There's that word again, right? Grail, 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 grail. I feel like that word gets tossed around a lot, and some people get a little butthurt by it, but stop being so damn sensitive. I just had a whole ordeal on my Facebook page over people just being too damn sensitive, man. Drives me crazy. What the world's turned into. Okay, so we're gonna put that back in here, and then stay tuned for some photos and the wrist shots. But man, I'm in love. I can't remember what I spent for a ticket, but I want to say it was like $18. I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think I bought one or two tickets, so I spent $18 or $36, and I won this beautiful watch. How can you beat that, man? There it is. Don't look too bad on my wrist, right? It don't look too puny. Look at that. Butterfly clasp is almost dead center now. Watch is dead center on my wrist. Perfect. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Stay tuned for the photos. And God bless.
Better than the rest of them. Compare us to the best of them. Better than the rest of them. Compare us to the best of them. Know the name, know the game, know the pain, ayy. Know the name, know the game, know the pain, ayy. Know the name, know the game, know the pain, ayy. Know the name, know the game, know the pain, ayy. Better than the rest of them. Compare us to the best of them. Better than the rest of them. Compare us to the best of them. Better than the rest of them. Compare us to the best of them. Better than the rest of them.